Who doesn't love a delicious cheesesteak sandwich, especially when it's made on a flat top?
Oh yeah, about 3 or 4 of these.
Normally when I make these, I use an Italian bun. It's hard on the outside, but I had these hoagie rolls sitting around. So what I did to try and adjust was I toasted them up in a 400-degree oven for about 5 minutes just to get the outside crispy. I'm also trying something new here. This is some pre-cut steak. It's thin sliced, and it saves me the step. Normally I use my deli slicer to shave down the steak real thin, but I wanted to see how it would turn out with this pre-cut steak to save me some time. This stuff is fairly thin. I like to shave mine a little bit thinner than this. I found that when you make cheesesteaks on the flat top, the thinner you cut it, the better. I went ahead and moved forward with this, sliced it up just to make it into strips. But this is going to be dependent upon the type of bite you want in your cheesesteak. I'm keeping this cheesesteak pretty basic. I'm just going to use the steak, chop up an onion. I am going to add a little bit of mushrooms to it later on. And of course the cheese itself, but it's all up to you. Whatever you want on your cheesesteak sandwich, you add it. I set up my Blackstone for the cook. I got the left burner off and I got the right 3 burners on medium. Get some oil on there. I'm just using peanut oil. That's usually what I use when I cook with. And I start cooking the onions first. Just want to get these things cooked up a little bit and get some of the onion juices onto the griddle to cook the meat in. I like to season up my onions, just a little bit of salt, pepper, garlic mix, and then I'm just going to let these guys caramelize on the Blackstone here for a little bit before I move them off to the side to keep them warm. I put down a little bit more oil and added my mushrooms. I realized as I was doing this, I actually should have had these cooking with the onions just to save time, but it's not really that big a deal. The onions are cooked, the mushrooms are cooked. Get those guys off to the side, prep this thing for the meat. Throw on the steak. These cheesesteaks did turn out fantastic, but this steak didn't have as much marbling as I would prefer. I kept having to add oil to it to keep it from drying out. I season the steak once it's finished or close to finished with the salt, pepper, garlic mix again, and it's time to mix everything together and make these sandwiches. I was making this for meal prep, so I did all these things ahead of time, but if you're serving these, it's best to make the sandwiches and pull them right off when people are ready to eat them. They taste the best right when they come off of the griddle. I like mayonnaise in my cheesesteak sandwiches, so I put mayonnaise on the inside of these buns, and then I'm gonna open these guys up, put them on top, just to let it steam and cook a little bit there and get the flavors inside the bun. And these things come off, they're smelling delicious. I added a little bit of char to these. I let them cook on there just a bit to get a little bit of char on the steak. That is complete personal preference. That's just how I felt like doing them this time. A couple other ways I've done these before is to let the cheese melt and mix it into the meat, and then make the sandwiches the same way, just with the cheese mixed in there. And if you like, you can add more mayonnaise on top of the sandwich when it's done. I feel like a cheesesteak sandwich should be a staple for anybody with a flat top grill. These things are easy to make and they're fantastic. The only thing that makes these things taste better is smashing that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. It helps my videos, helps out my channel, and I hope you guys learned something from this. Enjoy.